our car, let's talk about it. Engine,
Power.
aluminum, 4-cylinder, turbocharged, 1.75 liter, which is minuscule. 1.75 liter, amazing. 240 horsepower, not much. What did you think? We've driven it 600 miles so far.
I think it's fantastic. It does, you know, for me to sort of get in there, it has a mind of its own, which is really great. Like, I feel like there's a real, like, it's got a soul. Like, there's something in there for me. It feels like, almost like a third person. I know that's a little sort of out there. You can speak to the technical side of it, but I find that it's really working with something. It's having a third person with you.
Yeah. What I don't like about it is because it is a little 1.75 liter, which is pretty small. Mm-hmm. It has more turbo lag than anything I've driven made in modern history. Mm-hmm. Recent cars. So when you get on it, when you're just trying to get out of a parking lot, you kind of got to give it the beans a bit.
You do.
And then you get to about 3,800 RPM. Mm-hmm. And then takes off,
yeah.
And then you slam into the minivan in front of you.
Yeah, that's right.
You sort of have to like learn its timing a little bit. Here's one thing I loved about the engine. While I didn't like that it was a bit wheezy and torqueless, once you get it into the boost, once you get it in there, we had great fun driving it at 65 miles an hour.
Wow, sustained 65 was great.
So many modern cars where it's a numbers game, just throw as much horsepower as you can, 400, 500, 600, 650, cars like that. I don't think you really get to enjoy them for what they are because there's very few places you could unleash 650 horsepower.
That's correct.
This car, I think we drove really spiritedly at 60 miles an hour, and you were working for it. You were earning it.
And, you know, we did 10 miles up here on these sort of twisty, fun roads, you know, with many of these traffic circles. Even when you're going through there at 35, 40 miles an hour, it's still something. It still feels like you're doing something that's much more exciting and much more, you're in tune with the road and you're having fun out there. And fun's a big issue. You're enjoying this ride, even though it's just a leisurely crawl through town.
Yeah. To me, the drivetrain made it feel like you were driving one of those old cars to power, but you were driving a supercar's chassis and suspension. It was really kind of a unique thing. I've never experienced much like that. Felt like an underpowered vintage air-cooled 911. We did about 300 miles in one clip.
Yes.
Actually, it was more like 400 miles in one.
Yes. Right after dinner, we had 400 miles left to go.
And we averaged what felt like 110 miles an hour.
It felt as if we were doing sustained half-hour periods of 110 plus. It felt as if we must have done that 4 times. However, we never once broke the speed limit.
That's right.
It's surprising. I mean, you talk about a car having that much personality.
That's right. You need a beer.